Dear partners, we are happy to announce that you can already order our next generation BLE RS-485, RS-232 Bluetooth adapters, also called bases sometimes, that are far easier to configure using just your smartphone and our app, and that have both RS-485 and RS-232 interfaces to connect them to different GPS trackers. The RS-485 interface, just like before, makes it possible for the adapter to respond to requests from a GPS tracker in accordance with the LLS data communication protocol. The same LLS protocol is used if the adapter is connected to a tracker via the RS-232 interface. However, the majority of trackers can only work with just one sensor, and sometimes, for example, if you use Teltonika devices, you need to select the network address 255 for the connection to work. If the tracker can be configured to work in the so-called transparent mode, that allows it to just retransmit the data it gets from the adapter to a server without actually processing it, then you can connect several sensors too. In general, and regardless of what interface is used for the connection with the tracker, up to 10 sensors can be paired with the adapter. To configure the adapter, you just need to connect its black and red wires to a power supply of 12 to 36 volts and run our app. In the app, go to the sensor settings and select BA BLE device type. Then press connect. The app will require you to set up or enter a previously set password. The password protects the base from any attempts to tamper with its settings by any unauthorized third party. To pair the sensor with the adapter, press the plus button. Then enter the sensor's MAC address. It can be found on the sensor's head or in our app for Android devices. On iOS, the MAC addresses are not displayed due to certain rules set by Apple. Alternatively, scan the QR code of the sensor to connect it to the base. Also, you can enter the first two letters of the sensor's model, the lower dash, and the last 6 digits of the serial number that can be found on the sensor's head. To delete a previously paired sensor, press the cell with it and swipe to the left and then push the delete button. To configure the RS-485 or RS-232 network addresses that the base will use to channel the data received from the sensors via Bluetooth to the trackers by means of the RS-485 or RS-232 interface, press on the paired sensor. You will see the current data received from it, including the RSSI that should be used as a guide when selecting the spot where the base will be installed. Press the RS-232 RS-485 button. In the next menu, select the pair of the sensor's parameters you need to get transmitted onto the tracker. Activate it and select a network address for that pair. You can select whatever network address you want and your tracker can pull, except the ones already used by other sensors. In case you pair only one sensor with the adapter and you connect the adapter to the tracker via the RS-232 interface, you need to configure the network address similar to how it's done when the RS-485 interface is used, although sometimes the address must be 255. If you need to connect more sensors and the tracker you use can be configured in the transparent mode, you can configure the adapter in a way that will allow it to transmit the data received from the sensors to the tracker automatically, i.e., without any requests being sent by the tracker to the adapter. To do so, go to the RS-232 settings and choose one of the options there. The first two options can only be used if there is one or several TD BLE sensors paired with the adapter and you saved the tank calibration table of up to 50 lines in each of them, so that they were able to transmit the values in liters or gallons already. We have a separate video on our channel that explains how to do that. If you did that and selected the first option, the adapter will be transmitting the total volume of fuel measured by 2 or more sensors. This option must be used when there are several tanks. They can be completely separated from each other, or they can be interlinked. If there is only one sensor, this option will work too. Along with the total fuel volume, the average temperature will be transmitted as well. The adapter's output data will be sent to the tracker in ASCII format, but the fuel and temperature values will be in the hex format. The second option must be used if there are several sensors installed in the same tank, as the adapter will be calculating the average of fuel volume and the average of temperature readings received from several TD BLE sensors. This option also requires you to have the tank calibration tables saved in every sensor's memory. This option, just like the previous one, works with the TD BLE sensors only. The base's output data is also transmitted to the tracker in the ASCII format, but the fuel and temperature values will be in the hex format. The third option enables the transmission of the data of every sensor one by one in ASCII format. The fourth option enables the base to transmit the data of all sensors paired with it, including the TD, TL, TH, and DU sensors in ASCII strings. The parameter values will be in the hex format. If you pair a DU BLE or TH BLE, for example, the parameters will be the same, T and N, but they will be carrying an angle reading or RPM, for example, in case a DU BLE is paired with the base, or humidity and temperature readings in case the TH BLE sensor is paired with the base. And the number next to the T or N parameter corresponds to the number of the sensor's cell on the list and the menu of the base. Also, you need to open the menu of each sensor in the RS-232 settings, activate the pair of the parameters that should be included into the output string. Only one pair can be activated per each sensor. The last option enables the base to transmit all the data of all the sensors paired with the base in ASCII strings. If this option is selected, more pairs of parameters can be transmitted per each sensor. You only need to activate them in the RS-232 settings of each cell of the base with the sensor connected to it. The order of the parameters of each sensor in the string depends on the number of the sensor's cell on the list in the menu of the base. You can also configure the interval at which the base will be transmitting the sensor's data to the tracker. Put the value in seconds that you need and then press the button to apply and save the changes. For example, if you put 30 seconds, the base will be sending the data received from the sensor or sensors to the tracker every 30 seconds. Attention! And this is crucial. Before anything, you need to make sure that the server of your platform can work with the data messages it gets from the tracker that include the strings in ASCII format that are transmitted by the base to the tracker. To conclude, the adapters make our BLE sensors compatible with the trackers that have the RS-232 port and can communicate with the base in accordance with the LLS protocol, or can be configured in the transparent mode and thus work with the ASCII strings received from the base and retransmit them onto a server. Aside from that, the BA BLE tends to perform better than the Bluetooth modules of the trackers in terms of connection stability.